Mid-December on day, 49 degrees. Partly cloudy skies. Two-time NFL Coach of the Year, Bruce Arians. His Cardinals still alive. They need a win and a lot of help. For more on the Cardinals, down to the field, we welcome in Christina Pink. Christina.
Well, hey, Kenny, it's been the defense that's kept them alive. First in total yards, first in passing yards the last 3 weeks. It's been a defensive resurgence. Bruce Arians told us that his players felt embarrassed after a loss in Houston. They played better ever since. It also helps that they boast the NFL sack leader in Chandler Jones. He said guys are just getting comfortable playing together. He's also looking to wreak havoc today against a patchwork offensive line for the Redskins. They have a ton of injuries, so he's got a pretty good chance.
Thanks, Christina. The Redskins won the toss, elected to defer. Dustin Hopkins is back off injured reserve. He gets things started. DJ Foster will take a knee. So Blaine Gabbert and the Arizona Cardinals will start from their 25-yard line. Cardinals have used 3 starting quarterbacks this season. Carson Palmer, then Drew Stanton. Gabbert now makes his 5th start.
Well, Kenny, I think we're kidding ourselves if we don't think that Blaine Gabbert is still auditioning for 2018, his opportunities. I think he knows this is one of his good last chances. I think he's played well. If he could protect the football, it's going to be a good day for the Arizona Cardinals.
Former first-round pick, 10th overall by the Jaguars, Kerwynn Williams in the backfield. He's put together 2 real strong efforts the last 2 games. And this is Williams who takes it up the middle to the 28-yard line for a gain of 3 on first down. Cardinals lost 2 more starters on the offensive line this past week.
And they have, and they're finding a way to make do. Will Holden, you've seen Evan Boehm getting the start there, but the guy you got to keep an eye on is obviously Kerwynn Williams. He's had a great couple of weeks, 160 yards in his last 2 games, doing the things at running back that they were expecting out of Adrian Peterson, of course, is now on IR for this Arizona team.
Tight end Jermaine Gresham out today as well, along with wide receiver John Brown, missing his 4th consecutive game. Gabbert under pressure. He was able to get rid of it as Ryan Kerrigan was in his face. 3rd down and 7 coming up for the Cardinals against this 24th ranked Redskins defensive unit.
And they've been really up and down this year, Kenny, especially the past couple of weeks. Some lapses in the secondary or whatnot, but I really like DJ Swearinger. He challenged his team, not only in their meetings, but publicly, that they needed to practice better, and we'll see if that prep translates to the field today.
Redskins without linebacker Zach Brown, leading tackler in the entire league this season. 4th down and 7. For the Cardinals, they must get to the 35-yard line for a first down, and back at the 17, Gabbert's sack, ball comes loose, and it's recovered by Preston Smith of the Redskins, following the sack by Anthony Lanier.
Well, Anthony Lanier is a guy that they were talking about earlier in the year, coming into his own as a rusher. You're going to see him, he's right in the middle of your screen. He beats the center, and Blaine Gabbert has 0 chance. The only thing you would expect him is to protect that football, and you need a takeaway to start the game, put your offense in great scoring position. The Redskins got it.
4th sack of the season for Lanier. Smith with the recovery. So the Cardinals turn it over on their opening possession. It will be 1st and goal for the Redskins from the Arizona 6.
Wow, what a way to start the game. Redskins have been, just mentioned, it's so up and down on defense, but what they have been doing, Kenny's rushing the passer. Ryan Kerrigan obviously is the headliner in that regard, but you get some contribution from the middle of this defensive line, and now all Gabbert's looking for a tough day. And yeah,
all turnovers are reviewed.
And they're making sure that this is a fumble, and I don't think there's any question. The ball is coming out before he hits the ground. And
Paparelli has received confirmation. 1st and goal from the 6. Samaje Perine in the backfield, Josh Doxson in motion. Kirk Cousins hands it off to Perine, and Perine gains a yard. He's brought down at the 5-yard line. Talked about injuries on the Arizona offense. Redskins lost left tackle Trent Williams. Kirk Cousins has started every game this season. It's his 46th consecutive start. They also lost their top backs, Rob Kelly and Chris Thompson. So Perine has taken over, the rookie out of Oklahoma, and he's the leading rusher for Washington this season. 3 receivers to the left side. Perine in the backfield, 2nd and goal from the 5. Cousins, end zone, touchdown, Jamison Crowder.
that's a way to start the game if you're the Washington Redskins. Turnover on defense, turn it around right into a score. I'm always looking for Jamison Crowder. They're playing man-to-man. Patrick Peterson, he falls, slips in the end zone, uncontested touchdown. Great start for the Redskins.
Second TD of the season for the Redskins leading receiver, Jamison Crowder. 23rd touchdown pass for Cousins. Here's Hopkins. There is a flag. The extra point is good. Against the Cardinals, Jay Gruden says we'll take the penalty on the
illegal
kickoff.
formation, defense. Penalty will be enforced on the kickoff, and the try is good.
An early turnover by the Cardinals. Early lead for the Redskins. The sack by Lanier, recovery by Brown, and then Cousins finds Crowder in the end zone.
Game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency.
It only took the Redskins 43 seconds after forcing the turnover. Sacked by Anthony Lanier. Jamison Crowder with the Washington touchdown. 5th time they've scored a TD on an opening possession this season.
Well, it's nice to start fast. Got to be able to maintain it, though. This team is 13 points last week, 14 points the week before. Good starts, Raul. See if they can finish what they've started.
Hopkins to kick off. Redskins release Nick Rose, who had taken over for Hopkins following the injury earlier this season. Take it at the 4, then TJ Foster lost the football, back up, out to the 17-yard line. Now interesting, Rodney, when we talked to Bruce Arians yesterday, he mentioned that this season, due to all the injuries in offense and his defense has been playing so well, he's actually deferred 4 times. He's won the coin toss 5 times this year, deferred 4 out of the 5. Prior to the season, only deferred once in 32 games, but today he didn't have the choice. Redskins won the toss, they defer. That meant the Cardinals offense was out on the field first, and they turned it over.
I think he'd rather have his defense out. This offense has been just a little bit inconsistent, and again, the turnovers have killed this team all year.
1st and 10, 17-yard line. Larry Fitzgerald unable to hang on. Again, Gabbert was under intense pressure.
The only thing you can say, he may be holding this ball too long. It looks like it was supposed to be a quick release here, but again, the pocket just collapsing around Blaine Gabbert. He can't get the ball out to Larry Fitzgerald, working there in the slot on Kendall Fuller, and it's a rough start for the Arizona offense right now.
2nd down and 10. Second possession for the Cardinals. This is Kerwin Williams, and Williams picks up a 1st down out to the 28-yard line. What perseverance. Kerwin Williams, he's been released 9 times. He's been involved in 25 different roster moves throughout his 4-year career. He's now the starter.
Oh, and he's not a big guy either. He's under 200 pounds, about 5'8", but when you put the film on Kenny, all you see is a guy fighting for extra yards. I mean, he got hit there, he broke a tackle, and I've been impressed, been really impressed with Kerwin Williams. And a guy like him, all you're really looking for is your opportunity, and he's taking advantage of it in these weeks without Adrian Peterson at tailback.
Peterson now on injured reserve. David Johnson played in only 1 game, underwent wrist surgery. On 1st down, it's Williams again, and this time he gets swallowed up with A.J. Francis leading the way along with Martrell Spate.
Martrell Spate's a guy that's filling those shoes of Zach Brown. You mentioned he's out, and they've been decimated at linebacker. Mason Foster's out, now Zach Brown's out. You're going to need these guys, the Spates of the world, the Zach Vigils, who's starting at the other linebacker spot, to have good days, especially if Arizona's going to come out here and try to establish a run game.
Gain of just 1. 2nd down and 9. Elijah Penny in the backfield. Off the fake, here comes Kerrigan. Fitzgerald makes the catch, picks up a 1st down as he looks to hurdle Josh Norman. So Larry Fitzgerald gains 11 and gives a pat to the helmet of Norman, extending his streak. Now has a reception in 209 consecutive games.
Oh, no surprise, and this is just a nice sub route really by Larry Fitzgerald. You see this a lot out of the Arizona Cardinals with Blaine Gabbert at quarterback. They like to get him on the edge of the offense, let him use his athleticism to create opportunities in the pass game. And man, that's a great picture. Larry Fitzgerald at that advanced age still able to get over Josh Norman.
Wow. First and 10 from the 41-yard line. Gabbert hands it off. This is Penny. And he picks up 5 out to the 46. Sixth carry of the year for Elijah Penny. Undrafted back out of Idaho.
And we'll see more of Elijah Penny this game, probably throughout the rest of the season. Kerwin Williams, I mentioned, he's not a big guy, but when they need a guy that can pound through the middle of the offensive line, it's Penny. He's got great size. Not really dynamic. He's not going to scare you in the open field, but he will pick up those tough yards.
Now second down and 5 for the Cardinals. Tight ends, J.J. Nelson in motion. Again, it is Penny. Elijah Penny up the middle, out to the 48-yard line. Junior Gillette, the tackle. It'll be third down and 3 for the Cardinals.
Well, after that turnover on the first possession for Arizona, I think it's important for them to come out with a positive drive here. Continue to pick up first downs. And yes, I like the way that Bruce Arians is calling this game. They're down already 7 points, but he's going to stick to the run game, get them in a manageable third down situation. 3rd and 3 right here. See what Blaine Gabbert has on the docket here for this Redskins defense.
DJ Foster now in the backfield for Arizona. 3 receivers set. Fitzgerald split out to the left. On third down, Gabbert throws, and it's Foster out of the backfield. He has a first down into Redskins territory. Dragged out of bounds by Josh Harvey Clemens, the rookie out of Louisville. Gain of 9 for DJ Foster.
Well, just a little scat protection. You're going to see Foster pick out of the blitz. He's not interested. You see the man-to-man coverage there by number 40, young guy, Josh Harvey Clemens, trying to get over to the runner, and he's just a little slow behind that natural pick that was set, and they pick up an easy first down.
Kerwin Williams back in. First and 10 from the 43-yard line. 8th play of the drive for the Cardinals. Wide receiver screen to Fitzgerald, but it did not fool a guy that you love, Rondé, Kendall Fuller.
Oh, how do you not love Kendall Fuller? We've had a couple of games of Washington, and every time you see these little screens, he's making tackles on them. This is hard to do, to get past a blocker that's right in your face. And he holds Larry Fitzgerald to a gain of less than a yard. Well done. And he's got 4 interceptions on the season. He's probably been their most consistent player in the secondary, and I think they really love his development in this second year.
They sure do. Out of Virginia Tech. Second down and 10. From the 43-yard line, off the fake to Williams. Gabbert over the middle, hits Fitzgerald for a first down, his 3rd reception. That is number 90 on the season. He gains 14, extending his NFL record. 8th different season with at least 90 receptions for the great Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh, and that's awesome. And give a lot of credit to Blaine Gabbert there, because he is a fastball thrower. Sometimes he lacks the touch, but when you have a guy like Larry Fitzgerald, now 8 90 reception seasons, that's just awesome. He's a comfort for his quarterback. Well done, Larry.
Future first ballot Hall of Famer, no question about it. First and 10 from the 29. This is Williams trying to cut to the outside. Josh Norman made the initial contact.
That's one thing you like about Josh Norman. He's been up and down in coverage a little bit this year, just as I've watched him. He's still an elite player, but I love his toughness. You know, he's not one of those corners that's going to sit outside and, you know, kind of maybe handle and not try to come up and tackle. He puts his face on people and gets people on the ground.
Now second down and 9. 3 tight ends on the field for the Cardinals. 11th play of the drive. From the 29-yard line. Gabbert moving to his right, throws, and the catch is made by Ricky Seals-Jones. The rookie tight end. To Los Angeles we go for a game break with Carissa Thompson. Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. So an Eagles win, Vikings loss. Eagles clinch the #1 seed in the NFC. Not a good start for them without Carson Wentz. Orleans Darkwa scores on the opening drive, and this extra point has the Giants up 6-0. Kenny?
All right, thanks very much, Carissa.
It'll be interesting to see where the Philadelphia Eagles go these last 3 games of the season. Carson Wentz, obviously one of the MVP candidates of the season, out. Nick Foles, see if he's able to rally that football team.
We're down at 5. Gabbert takes off. And Blaine Gabbert diving forward has another Arizona first down.
Well, he's seeing a lot of pressure early, Blaine Gabbert is. And you got to be careful if you're the Washington Redskins. Nobody's spying Blaine Gabbert here. Everybody's in coverage. Everybody's got their back to the quarterback, and he's very want to do this. Just tuck the ball, season opening, picks up an easy first down. Good drive here by the Arizona Cardinals, getting back after that early turnover.
They've had the ball for over 7 minutes on this drive. There's Greg Manusky, Redskins defensive coordinator. 13th play of the drive for Arizona. They must win to keep their slim playoff hopes alive. Kerwin Williams down to the 12-yard line. Lanier, the tackle, a gain of 5. Cardinals turned it over on their first possession. Took only 2 plays for the Redskins to score. The Cardinals have now run 16 plays in the game. The Redskins just 2. Washington with the 7-0 lead. 14th play of this drive. Second down and 5. Williams in the backfield. 3 wide receivers. Fitzgerald bottom of your screen. From the 12-yard line. Play action. Gabbert in trouble. Down he goes. Sacked for the second time in his first quarter. It is Junior Galette, his 3rd sack of the season.
And this is a great rush move by Junior Galette. Watch the quickness. You're going to see him right here in your screen, but just goes right by Will Holden, the backup left tackle, and he had time. Larry Fitzgerald had Josh Norman.
Galette missed the last 2 seasons. Prior to that, had 22 sacks his previous 2 years with the Saints.
And he's coming back from those Achilles injuries, and the quickness is there. Production really hasn't materialized yet, but
Blake Hawkins 2. Winds all the way down. And the Cardinals were able to call timeout. Bruce Arians running down the sideline. First Arizona timeout. Back in a moment. First quarter in Landover. Kenny Albert, Rondé Barber, Christina Pink. 15th play of the drive coming up for Blaine Gabbert and the Cardinals following the Junior Galette sack. 3rd down and 12 with the Redskins 19. Cardinals into the backfield. Gabbert in trouble on 3rd down. Wrapped up. It's Anthony Lanier again. His 2nd sack. 3rd for the Redskins in the first quarter.
Well, they are struggling protecting the quarterback now. We talked about the deficiencies on the offensive line. He's right there in the middle of your screen again. He's working versus a double team, but getting help with the coverage on the back end. The pocket's collapsing. Blaine Gabbert steps up, nowhere to go, and you have sacks on drives, Kenny. Your chances of scoring touchdowns way down.
Right. So here is Phil Dawson from the left hash. 40-yard attempt. Dawson's kick just inside the right upright. It was a 16-play drive, but thanks to a couple of sacks, Cardinals come away with just 3.
Today's game is sponsored by Bud Light, brewed to be enjoyed responsibly.
Blaine Gabbert sacked 3 times on that drive. Cardinals come away with a field goal. He was sacked 8 times last week and 7 times 2 weeks ago.
Well, if there's one knock on Blaine Gabbert really throughout his whole career is the number of sacks that he's taken since he's been here. And obviously you can blame some of that, Kenny, on the play of the offensive line, but at certain times he's got to get the ball out of his hands quicker.
Sacked twice in that drive, 3 times in the first quarter. On the return for the Redskins, Bashawn Breeland. And he is stopped shy of the 20-yard line. Tonight, Rondé, Christmas comes early. The most beloved Christmas movie of all time becomes the season's biggest television event. From the network that brought you Grease Live, it's A Christmas Story live tonight at 7, 6 Central on Fox. Santa Claus in attendance.
Santa Claus is everywhere this time of year. He's definitely going to be busy.
Taking in the Redskins and Cardinals before he gets really busy later this month. This is only the third play run by the Redskins offense. First and 10 from the 18. Play action. Cousins fires. Wide open is Josh Johnson for a first down. Gain of 14 out of the 32-yard line. No Trent Williams, so it's Ty Nsekhe at left tackle for the Redskins.
And big day for Ty Nsekhe, dealing with Chandler Jones, the NFL sack leader, 55 and white. You'll see that matchup all day long. And Coach Gruden told us 2 days ago that, he kind of held his own last time he played against Chandler Jones. Let's see if he's able to do that now, because this is one of the hottest defenders in football.
Chase Roulier back at center. Tony Bergstrom started the last three. As Pirine takes the handoff and gains a yard down to the 33. For the Cardinals, defensively, they are ranked 8th. Corey Peters is back. Missed the last 4.
Corey Peters being back definitely helps the interior of this defensive line, but the guy I'm looking at is Tramon Williams. He's had a couple of big days, really solidified the back end of this Cardinals secondary.
Cousins off his back foot. Incomplete. Took a hit from Carlos Dansby.
Dansby right in the middle of your screen, 56, unblocked. Kirk Cousins can do nothing but get rid of that ball. And this James Beckter defensive coordinator Arizona, they love to light you up and blitz from all angles with a lot of different players. And they know they have to get aggressive. They haven't been able to rush the passer, 4 down linemen, other than with Chandler Jones. So expect a lot of pressure from everywhere. Both safeties, Buda Baker, Tyrann Mathieu, get very involved.
Third down and 8. Redskins must get to the 42 for a first down. Cousins cannot find anyone downfield, and it's Chandler Jones who brings him down. It's not a sack. Tackled at the 35-yard line, Jones and Olsen Pierre.
Just mentioned Buda Baker. We saw his first game starting at safety, and he's playing in the slot nickel, and this is a tough matchup. Jamison Crowder's one of the shiftiest, quickest guys in and out of routes, and that's where Kirk Cousins was looking, but the pressure got to him. Unavailable receiver, has to take the sack. Cardinals get off on third down.
So Tress Wade punting from his 25-yard line. Rick Golden waiting at the 11, and right there to make the tackle on special teams is Quentin Dunbar. Nowhere to go for Golden following the 54-yard punt by Tress Way. Outstanding Redskins special teams.
Today's game is sponsored by Samsung and by Burger King. Big taste, smaller package. The Bacon King Jr. is available now at Burger King restaurants.
How great is this?
He's not wearing that logo cape on his shirt for no reason. How about that? Between snaps before he goes into the offensive huddle. It's a great man.
Walter Payton, Cole Man of the Year, along with Eli Manning last season. First and 10 from the 12-yard line. Williams. A.J. Francis made the initial contact. One of the all-time greats.
There's that logo right there. Only the winners are allowed to wear that thing. Much deserved, too, for a guy who's done so much. And this year's Walter Payton Man of the Year for the Cardinals is Patrick Peterson. For the Washington Redskins, it's Nick Sundberg, the long snapper.
Phoenix native.
From Arizona, yep.
The nominees from these clubs. Second down and 7. With a stutter step from Williams, and then it's Josh Norman, who celebrated his 30th birthday on Friday. Norman comes up to make the tackle.
Well, offenses love to ask questions of corners. Put them on an island and say, are you going to make a tackle? Josh Norman clearly is not scared to put his face on people and make tackles. That's the second one we've seen in one-on-one situation where he gets the guy to the ground.
You call that a business decision, right, Rhonda?
Yeah. He's not scared to make business decisions. He's made some pretty good business decisions over the course of his career.
Yes, he has, as you did as well. Third down and 7. Half minute remaining, first quarter. Play clock winding down. Cardinals have already used the timeout. Bunch formation to the right. They did not get the snap away. Cardinals take a second timeout.
Number 73, offense.
So Pete Morelli threw the flag for the false start. Two of the other officials came running in, signaling timeout. Which came first?
I'm pretty sure the timeout did, and they're going to correct this.
Arizona called timeout prior to the snap. Second team timeout.
All right, so the Cardinals called timeout before the flag was thrown. Back in a moment. Cardinals forced to use a second timeout. Looks like Bruce Arians had some communications issues.
Oh, there's definitely something going on. They're playing so slow at the line of scrimmage. It had to be something with the headset. Quarterback.
All right, for more, down to Christina.
Hey, Kenny, yes, you guys have mentioned certainly some communication issues. NFL officials behind the Arizona sideline are working feverishly to fix it, moving cables around. But right now, they are having some issues and trying to get the problem fixed.
All right, thanks, Christina. Third down and 7. Cardinals must get to the 22 for a first down. Gabbard throws incomplete, looking for DJ Foster. Gabbard hit the turf once again. Cardinals will punt it away.
They run this little stack formation. They've seen it a lot already today just to get the man-to-man element out of the game, and this is just a little off the mark to DJ Foster. But again, there was a pressure by Minuski, and this Washington's defense didn't have a chance to set his feet, deliver a good ball, and Redskins are off the field.
Andy Lee takes the snap from Aaron Brewer, the Cardinals' long snapper, back off injured reserve this week. Bounces in front of Jamison Crowder. Will take a bit of a Cardinals roll. Good field position for the Redskins with 8 seconds remaining in the first quarter. A 48-yard punt with the Redskins leading 7-3. Washington has had the ball for only 2.5 minutes. They've run 6 plays. Cardinals 21.
I think this game is going to turn into a ball control type of game. Neither one of these offenses are really explosive. I know the MO on the Cardinals is that they throw it down the field, all these explosive plays, but it's been really absent here the second half of the season, partly due to Carson Palmer being injured, partly due to some inconsistencies. And on Washington's side of the ball, they've struggled with wide receivers as well, making some big plays.
Redskins start from the 37-yard line. This is Pirine. Samaje Perine tackled after a gain of just 1 as the first quarter comes to an end. Redskins run 7 plays. They have 7 points thanks to a takeaway by their defense. Redskins perfect against the NFC West this season. They beat the Rams in Los Angeles. A 2-point win over the 49ers here at home. And they also went out to Seattle and came away with a victory.
Too bad they're not playing in the West. This Redskins team struggled in almost every other area.
False start, number 39, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's on Capri Bibbs. See the walkie-talkie now being used. Both teams having some communications issues. Now, there's no equity as far as the coach to quarterback communication, but if the teams are having an issue with the communication upstairs to the other coach in the press box, then the other team has to shut their communication down as well. That's Bibbs, who was called up from the practice squad this week, former Denver Bronco, gain of 10, Dansby to tackle.
I asked Jay Gruden about some of these young guys, Bibbs being one of them, and what does he offer you? What can we expect? We're going to see some young guys. And his response was classic. He's like, the choice is out of necessity. We want to see young guys. Would rather not have to play them, but they've got nobody else. And we'll see a lot of Bibbs today.
We're down at 4. Redskins must get to the 47. Cousins stands in the pocket, throws, and the Redskins pick up a first down. It's Jamison Crowder out at the 48-yard line.
Well, one of the matchups we were expecting was Trent Williams versus Chandler Jones, but watch Ty Nsekhe here. I've watched 3 plays in a row, and he has just stoned Chandler Jones in his tracks. Hasn't been able to get to the quarterback. Gives his quarterback time to find Jamison Crowder to pick up that first down. And interesting talking to Chandler Jones. He told us sometimes he wastes rush just to set up especially young offensive tackles. We'll keep an eye on that matchup, see what Chandler has in the bank for him.
Off the fake to running back Rashawn Daniels. Cousins fires downfield, and there is There's a flag. Pass intended for Josh Duxon.
When a guy's pulling his shoulder, his jersey back over his shoulder pad, good chance that that's
Pass
holding.
interference. Number 34, defense. Automatic first down.
34 is Harlan Miller.
Said 34. He meant 25. Tramon Williams right here. See Josh Dotson trying to create some separation. Turns his body. That's an easy call.
16-yard penalty. Daniels remains in the backfield. 1st and 10 from the Arizona 34. Cousins on the slant, and that one's broken up by Patrick Peterson. Intended for Ryan Grant.
All right, here we go again. Inseki, Chandler Jones, he's winning. He is anchoring down. He's getting some help, obviously, when Chandler Jones tries to go inside, but there's no winning over there right now.
What a resume for Inseki. Started in the Arena League, played some semi-pro football, a couple of games for the Rams back in 2012, on to the Saints, and now making his 3rd start this season for the Redskins.
He's played some guard for this team as well, so he's got some versatility.
On 2nd and 10, the fake end around to Grant. They set up the screen. This is Bibbs. Bibbs still going inside the 10 to the end zone. Touchdown! 36 yards. 2nd career touchdown for Capri Bibbs.
Well, this is just well executed by the Washington Redskins. I want you to keep an eye how long it takes for this play to develop. And when you get this much play action, you're going to see the fake dive, the fake reverse, and nobody in space here. Patrick Peterson is the only defender in the area, and then look at Bibbs outrunning Dale Buchanan to the end zone for a touchdown. And like when a plan comes together, right? Well, that one came together perfectly. Redskins are on the board for the 2nd time today.
Activated from the practice squad on Tuesday. He was in camp with the 49ers. Hopkins, the extra point. Redskins extend their lead. 36 yards from Cousins to Bibbs.
This game is sponsored by the 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar.
5 plays, 63 yards. Bibbs into the end zone. His only previous NFL touchdown was a 69-yard reception from Trevor Siemian when he played for the Broncos. Kickoff is taken out across the 20 by Golden. Down to the 26-yard line, early 2nd quarter with the Redskins leading 14-3.
Well, the story of the day so far, Kenny, has been Blaine Gabbert and the pressure he has been under. Lanier has 2 sacks on the day. One of them led to a fumble that got a touchdown. This one took them out of scoring range. Had to kick a field goal by Junior Gillette. And it's been relentless. This Redskins defense has been maligned of sorts the past couple of weeks, but it came to play today, and they are harassing Blaine Gabbert in his attempt to get a road win here for Arizona.
Sacked 3 times. 1st and 10, 26-yard line. This is Kerwin Williams. Williams found a hole and gains 4 as we head to Los Angeles for a game break. And say hello to Kurt Menefee. Kurt.
Hello, Kenny Albert. Eagles' first game without Carson Wentz, and it looks like the Giants are the team that's motivated. Sterling Shepard from Eli Manning breaks a couple of tackles, goes 67 yards for the score, and they're up 20-7 just at the start of the 2nd quarter.
All right, Kurt. Eagles now with Nick Foles as their starting quarterback. Giants playing their 2nd game under interim head coach Steve Spagnuolo. Giants with a 20-7 lead. 2nd down and 6 from the shotgun. Gabbert. That pass sails over the head of Kerwin Williams.
Well, that should have been an easy completion for Blaine Gabbert. Just a quick shot to the flat. And I don't think the pressure's making him antsy. He has a tendency to sail balls, especially these outside breaking routes. And I'd love to have that one back. Get it down. Get Kerwin Williams in some space. I think he would have picked up the 1st down there.
Gabbert making his 5th start. 5 for 9. Sacked 3 times. Cardinals empty the backfield. They must get to the 36. 3rd down and 6 for Arizona. Gabbert complete. 1st down for the tight end, Troy Nicholas. his 9th catch of the season. Gained 17 yards.
Well, Troy Nicholas is in there as a blocking tight end normally, number 87 right here, and gets the chip on Preston Smith, and really good decision by Blaine Gabbert. Gets it out quick, give your guy an opportunity to make a play in space, and he does it, gets hit again. Ryan Kerrigan and Preston Smith converge on Blaine Gabbert there.
Longest reception of the season for Nicholas. Mentioned Jermaine Gresham is out today. First and 10 from the 47. This is Williams up the middle. Kerwin Williams into Redskins territory. There's Carson Palmer. Palmer on injured reserve. He was replaced by Bruce Stanton, who started 2 games. Sprained his knee. So it's been Gabbert the last 5.
And Carson Palmer, I'm sure he wants to be out here playing, but I just don't know if it's worth it for the Cardinals to bring him back. I think he could be back for week 17. Again, this is still an extended audition here for Blaine Gabbert. See if he's able to bring this Arizona Cardinals team back down 11 early in this football game.
Second down and 5. It's Williams. Dropped about a yard shy of a first down. What's going on with the communication on the sidelines, Christine?
Well, Kenny, it appears that the communication problems have been resolved. The NFL officials giving a thumbs up after talking to Bruce Arians on the sideline. The issues being with the headsets, but they do have those walkie-talkies working on standby if the problem becomes an issue again.
All right, thanks, Christina. Third down and 1. 2 tight ends plus an extra blocker. 64, Khalif Barnes. For the Cardinals, Elijah Penny in the backfield. Penny lost the football, and then he falls on and looks to be just short.
Quarterback running back exchange is fundamental, and Elijah Penny does not have a lot of touches. Obviously, we mentioned that earlier. Just a high handoff, hits him in the chest. He's still got to control it. And this has been a very profitable drive here for Arizona. They had moved down the field nicely, converting some third downs. I think Bruce Arians is going to keep his offense on the field and go for this on 4th down. I like it. You're on the road. You've got to find a way to get a win. You're still in playoff contention. This will set a tone for his entire team the rest of the day.
2 tight ends, Barnes the extra blocker. Penny in the backfield. It's Gabbert on the sneak. And Gabbert looks to have an Arizona first down.
On these situations, Kenny, you know as well as I do, you've done enough games. If they mark it a first down, it's going to stay a first down. No reason to even look at the replay because there's so many bodies in there. And I think he got enough of a push up front to fall forward for this first down.
So the officials signal first down. They move the chains. Kerwin Williams back on the field. 3 wide receivers set for the Cardinals. First and 10 from the Redskins 43-yard line. Play clock winding down. They've already used 2 timeouts. They take a third.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Again, a flag was thrown. We heard somebody yelling timeout. We'll see if they award it.
Well, Bruce is saying that Kerwin Williams turned right around to Pete Morelli trying to get that timeout, but I don't think they're going to give it to him.
No, not this time.
Close.
Now, this could actually help the Cardinals later in the half if they need to challenge a play.
Good point, Kenny. It's a great point.
So it forces them back 5 yards here, but they still have a timeout remaining.
Probably the most important thing in that scenario, that it was first down.
First and 10, or first and 15 following the penalty as Gabbert fires downfield just out of the reach of Jerron Brown, but there is a flag. Josh Norman defending.
Ron Brown is a strider, big, tall receiver. Josh Norman loves to play with his eyes in the backfield, but this is just him getting run by and grabbing him at the last second when he felt that pressure
Pass
get over the
interference,
top.
number 24 defense, automatic first down.
And Josh Norman's claiming that there was a push-off by Jerron Brown, and there could have been at the end. A lot of times these officials got to make a tough decision on the run while they're backpedaling, and they saw the contact by Josh Norman before they saw the push-off by Jerron Brown.
Cardinals gained 24 yards on the penalty. Pass interference on Norman. 8th play of the drive for Arizona. 1st and 10 from the Redskins 24. Tight ends plus an extra blocker. Barnes once again looking to bounce it to the outside. That time was Williams, and it's Spate.
Well, if you
makes the tackle.
If you tune into an Arizona game and you're expecting high-flying offense, 3 wide receivers, 4 wide receiver sets, throw it all over the place. I don't know that I've seen more 2, 3 tight end, extra blocker type sets from a Cardinals offense than I have today, and you got to give them credit. They are staying very balanced on the ground here, forcing the run, taking their time, getting back into this football game.
Now 2nd down and 8 from the Redskins 22. Again, they keep it on the ground with Williams. And Williams is inside the 20, down to the 17-yard line.
This is great patience by Kerwin Williams as a runner. See Ryan Kerrigan trying to spin out of this double team and just can't get him. But to be able to take your time in the backfield, wait for that hole to develop, and Kerwin Williams has the ability, he's got the speed and quickness and lateral agility to get outside. Finds that little crease, picks up some nice yardage to get them into this 3rd and short.
Cardinals in the red zone for the 2nd time. 10th play of the drive, 3rd down and 3. Gabbert in trouble, he's hit, ball comes loose. Preston Smith with the hit on Blaine Gabbert, and it is ruled an incomplete pass.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass.
Well, this is something the Redskins should probably challenge. This one's going to be close. Working on Will Holden, starting at left tackle today, and I don't know, Kenny. See if his hand is open. See if his hand is open when he lets go of this thing. Of course, Redskins will have to challenge this to get another look at it. There was a clear recovery on the other side.
And now Jay Gruden has thrown his challenge flag.
Well, looking at that last look, I think they're going to win it too.
Washington is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
All right, so Pete Morelli will take a look at it, communicate with Al River out of New York. Now, we thought we saw an empty hand. Jay Gruden agrees, but the ruling on the field will stand, Rondé.
Well, it's close. And if you look for that little bit of air right between there, Blaine Gabbert, you can make the argument that he still has enough control to push it forward. So, yeah, you understand why they stood with the ruling on the field, but you and I both agree, and I think Jay Gruden and every Redskin in here thinks that was an empty hand and should have been a fumble. Clear recovery, too, by G.J. Swearings. It would have been a turnover.
Bill Dawson connects from 35 yards out. So the Cardinals, with their 2nd field goal midway through the 2nd quarter, it's now 14-6. Washington will be back in 30 seconds after this message. Redskins with a 14-6 lead on the Arizona Cardinals. Jay Gruden losing that challenge, losing a timeout. Well, it's back to a 1-score game as Dawson will boot it downfield. This is Breland from the 5. John Breland with a burst out across the 30 and then tripped up. So Breland ruled down at the 35-yard line, 30-yard return. Redskins with touchdowns on 2 of their first 3 possessions, short field on their opening drive. They've run only 11 plays to the Cardinals' 31.
It's crazy. Be up 14 points with 11 plays, more plays than you do, or less plays than you do points. And Kirk Cousins was telling us, the running backs are going to have a good day today in order for them to survive this aggressive Arizona defense. So far, Bibbs with the long touchdown reception on the screen is showing just that.
Cousins hands it off to Pirine. Looks to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Josh Bynes makes the tackle, now a flag.
I think this might be a face mask.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask. Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
And that's Corey Peters, recently returned defensive tackle. Right there in the middle of your screen, you're going to see as P. Ryan starts to cut back. It's hard to see. Mate not even gotten the face mask, but up around the face mask area, around the head. Easy to see why they made that call.
Jordan Peters missed the last 4 with an ankle injury. From midfield on first down, Cousins, Ryan Grant. Grant gaining 5 on first down. Kirk Cousins making his 46th consecutive start. A lot of speculation about where he will be next season.
I don't think he knows.
No. 2nd and 5. I don't think anybody does. Here's P. Ryan. No gain. Corey Peters, the tackle.
Well, his season has been what you'd expect from a team that's dealing with this many injuries, especially on offense. He's lost 2 or 3 receivers, both running backs at the start of the year. He's having to do it all by himself, essentially, and today he looks pretty good. Obviously, the defensive turnovers have helped.
Now lost tight end Jordan Reed. Cousins sacked. Guess who? Chandler Jones, number 15 on the season.
Well, I got to tell you what, Ty Nseki was doing a good job. He's actually doing a good job here. Credit this one to the back end of the defense. The coverage was good. You got to fight, and you got a guy that can really turn the corner with his length and his strength. Eventually, you're going to have way, and he's been holding his own over there by himself all day long. Chandler Jones finally got the better of him.
And Jones sets a new Cardinals franchise record. He has a sack in 12 different games this season. That's never been done before in franchise history.
Oh, he's chasing the next teammate of mine, Simeon Rice. 16 and a half of them in a year is pretty impressive. He's on his way there in 2017.
Just a sack and a half shy.
This game is sponsored by IBM. You to the power of IBM. And by Forevermark Diamonds. Beautiful, rare, responsibly sourced. Discover the new Forevermark Tribute Collection.
Cardinals get the ball back. There's Ricky Seals-Jones, who's been productive over the last 4 weeks for the Cardinals.
Yeah, second most targeted guy since the Houston game. See the graphic there. They are definitely edging more towards the run game. That's why Troy Nicholas has been in the game more than Ricky Seals-Jones.
For trickery, Williams with the pitch, and J.J. Nelson takes it up the sideline. And for more on the Cardinals play selection and Ricky Seals-Jones, who's coming out to the field, down to Christina.
Hey, Kenny, well, Seals-Jones is basically a wideout learning to play tight end. He told me that he's really learning how to block, but it's different for him because he's playing inside the box. He said, I have to see what the offensive line is seeing, but I'm so used to playing outside. He says he's been able to come along this season, but it's certainly something that he's been working on.
Got a breakout game in Houston about a month ago. 2nd down and 3. Here's Williams up the middle for a first down. DJ Swearinger, former Cardinal, makes the tackle.
And Bruce Arians advanced that story for us as well. Here's Ricky Seals-Jones here. He's learning to be a blocker, and a lot of these guys that play receiver in college and make that transition start out being just position guys. They don't really know how to use their weight and their strength to move guys off the spot, and it's going to be a work in process. But what we do know, because we had the 2-touchdown game he had, his first 2 catches of the year in Houston, is that he can be a dangerous receiver. See if we get some of that later in this football game.
1st and 10, 33-yard line, play action. Gabbert sets, fires downfield. He's looking for Nelson, and he makes the catch. J.J. Nelson at the Redskins 21.
Well, just a quick release. Great inside release by J.J. Nelson. And Bashad Breeland is having a good year as well, but he does not have the speed to keep up with the J.J. Nelson at all. And this is a great adjustment to the football. You look for guys down the field to be able to contort their body and make those types of catches. J.J. Nelson comes up with a big one there.
Season-long 46-yard reception for Nelson, setting up 1st and 10 at the Redskins 21. This is Williams. So now the Cardinals are in the red zone, Rondé, for the 3rd time, and this is something Blaine Gabbert mentioned to us yesterday. He said we must do a better job scoring touchdowns once we get to the red zone. 0 for 3 last week, although they did win the game on 4 field goals, 12-7 over Tennessee. And so far today, 2 trips into the red zone, held to a field goal both times.
Well, they're trying to get him to throw the football, and the pressure has been just too immense for him, forced him into some bad decisions. Expect them to keep running this football, though, Kenny. I think good teams, when they get to the red zone, they got 3 tight ends on the field right now. They run the football, and they know that's where the strength is. With Blaine Gabbert at quarterback, turn around, hand it off. Larry Fitzgerald in there to block right now.
Elijah Penny in the backfield on second down. Gabbert throws, and that's off the hands of the newest Cardinal, Gabe Holmes. They signed him off the practice squad yesterday to their active roster.
Well, Bruce Arians does this a lot. Puts in 3 tight ends, makes you think you're going to run the football, and the ball is just delivered a little high and behind Gabe Holmes. It's funny, Bruce Arians told us, we asked him about the tight end situations. We said, well, Jermaine Gresham's sick. He didn't make the trip. We just signed a guy in the lobby.
Right.
It was Gabe Holmes. So he's getting his opportunity here today with some injuries or some guys out at the position.
In the lobby of the hotel, he had been on their practice squad. Now third down and 7 with the play clock winding down. They have a timeout. Don't need it. Gabbert near side, and they pick up the first down. It's Jerron Brown, his first catch today.
Good execution here. Ball came out of his hand on time. Jerron Brown runs a great route, and this is why you like Blaine Gabbert. This delivery, strong-armed, can put it on target, and when he's accurate, look how pretty that ball is. The spiral is perfect. Easy catch, first down, Cardinals.
First and goal from the 9. Again, the Cardinals send in 3 tight ends, Nicholas, Seals, Jones, and Holmes. Penny in the backfield. Seals Jones lined up as the fullback. On first and goal, Gabbert throws, it's picked off! What a first half for Preston Smith! And a flag at the end of the play.
Well, there's 2 flags on the field. Maybe 3 flags on the field right now.
After the interception, personal foul, horse collar tackle, number 75. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down, and timeout for the 2-minute warning.
Preston Smith had a fumble recovery early. He had that hit on Gabbert, and now his second career interception.
Here's Preston Smith dropping as an outside linebacker, usually rushing the passer, but watch Blaine Gabbert trying to adjust the angle, and he just misses his target. Ricky Seals Jones is running a pivot route, going expecting that ball to hit him inside, and the delivery is just poor.
So the Redskins back to work from the 41. Vernon Davis made the catch and then lost the football. Tremont Williams takes it down the sideline and is forced out of bounds at the 20. So the Redskins give it right back. Now, did Davis have it long enough for it to be ruled a reception?
Well, we'll see right here. You got to watch these in real time. He makes the catch, turns upfield. I think clearly that's a reception, a fumble.
I agree.
Calls fumble, clear recovery, and well done. You see him at the top of your screen coming across. He's wide open. Quarterback gets hit, but that's Antoine Bethea that comes in. Little ball aware on the backside of his arm, knocks it free. The Cardinals are back in business on offense.
All turnovers automatically reviewed. And it was ruled that Williams stepped out of bounds at the 33. So the Cardinals get it back as Davis coughed it up. Redskins lead the league in fumbles this season and lost fumbles. That's their 26th fumble, 13 they've lost. As Pete Morelli waits for confirmation, he has received it. So now we're set.
Here's real time. Definite second move. Definite fumble.
From the 33-yard line up the middle on first and 10, it's Penny down to the 29. Cardinals have only 1 timeout. They were forced to use 2 with the play clock winding down. Tried to use a 3rd. They're not in the red zone yet, but keep in mind if they do get inside the 20, they are 0 for 3 today as far as reaching the end zone.
And they're still taking their time. See what type of play calling Bruce Arians comes up with here. A lot of reduced formation, so you got to expect some underneath passes here, and they still got that timeout. They can still utilize it at their leisure here.
1 minute remaining, second down and 6. As Gabbert swings it out, Penny goes through his hands. Well, the clock stops with 57 seconds. That was the 40th play run by the Cardinals. Redskins with just 16.
You got to wonder right now, Kenny, the mentality of Blaine Gabbert. How much does he want to take a chance here? How much does he want to just protect the ball and at least get a field goal opportunity for his offense? But I think they got to go try to score. Again, I mentioned this over and over again. You're on the road. You're struggling in the red zone. I would take a shot here. Try to get into the end zone here before the half.
Redskins will get the ball following halftime. Now the play is blown dead. False start.
False start. Number 16 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Wide receiver Chad Williams. So this pushes the Cardinals back, and that could affect the field goal attempt.
Absolutely,
it will. A first down.
Absolutely, it will. But you still have 57 seconds on the clock and the timeout. I mean, you know, Bruce Arians, he might be aggressive and even try to go for it on fourth down. You usually be able to tell by his play selection here.
Third down and 11. Gabbert steps up and throws. It's Fitzgerald. Close to the marker. Timeout taken by the Cardinals.
Well, he's right on top of our yellow line. Self-imposed. It's unofficial, but
then he came back to make the catch.
Absolutely, Kenny. I think you're absolutely right. He cleared the line to gain, but had to come back to catch it. I think he's going to be just a step or two short.
48 seconds remaining. What's coming up at halftime, Kurt?
Coming up on the Visa halftime, we got Sunday afternoon fever as the Ravens, Dolphins, and Bills all try to stay alive in the playoff race. Put on your dancing shoes. The Visa halftime is coming up.
Kurt looking very sharp.
How about that tie combination there?
Larry Fitzgerald picked up the first down by the nose of the football.
Here's the end of it again. His feet are on the ground. That catch looks short.
We will take a look upstairs. Final 2 minutes. Booth review. Question is, did Larry Fitzgerald pick up the first?
The ball will be moved back a quarter of a foot. It will be fourth down. Please set the game clock to 52 seconds.
All right, so the booth review, it was ruled a first down on the field, but now they will move it back, which is what we thought all along.
And I will stick to my guns, too, before that snap. Bruce Arians going to go for this on fourth down, and I think he should. Clock's going to stop because of the timeout. Get your best play here, pick up a first down. You still got time to get it into the end zone if you pick up the first down.
Cardinals do pick up the first on this Gabbert sneak. Remember, they are out of timeouts. 40 seconds remaining from the 22. Gabbert on first down. Fires to the end zone. No flags. Ron Brown, the intended receiver, Norman defending.
Well, so what you do is you go into the huddle, you call the sneak, but you also call a second play, and you got to take a shot in that situation because the clock is still running, and could have been offensive pass interference there. He got Norman in the back as he's going up. But Josh Norman's got such good length, such great ball awareness, and even despite that push, he still gets up and defends that pass.
Looks like he's shaken up a bit. Down to 30 seconds. Gabbert on second down. He escapes. Now he throws. It's caught by Nicholas. And Troy Nicholas takes it down to the 1. Clock continues to run. Cardinals without a timeout remaining.
Larry Fitzgerald running the ball to get it spotted.
And now Gabbert will spike it on first and goal. 10 seconds remaining.
And the Redskins are a fingernail away from a sack here on Blaine Gabbert, and Zionitis, and Blaine Gabbert's just strong enough and athletic enough to get through. Here's Nicholas, put the ball, look at Fitz, go grab the ball. Say, give me it, we got to put this down so we can spike it and give themselves just enough time to maybe get one more play into the end zone. See if they can score a touchdown here before the break.
Fourth trip into the red zone. No touchdowns to this point for the Cardinals. Gabbert, second and goal, throws and he hits Foster in the back of his helmet.
Well, this is Bruce Arians 101. All you got to do is this ball should go right there. He should run just a quick slant and the ball hits him in the face. But he doesn't know. He hasn't played a lot in that position. He's running the wrong route. He should be expecting that ball to hit him right in the chest, right at the goal line. He falls in for the touchdown. I've seen that play 1,000 times from this offense, and Foster just wasn't on the same page.
Third and goal with 7 seconds.
Same setup again here.
Gabbert looking for Foster. It was tipped. Deflected at the line. Looked like Anthony Lanier. So now it's 4th and goal, and the Cardinals will send out the field goal unit.
Well, this one would have been even easier. They had a mix-up in coverage. Foster's wide open. But Anthony Lanier had 2 sacks already. Crucial pass defense there to keep the Cardinals out of the end zone, and you can see he was ready for it, and they know they missed an opportunity there. Twice missed an opportunity for that touchdown.
Chip shot, 19-yard attempt. Dawson with his 3rd field goal. But the Cardinals 4 trips inside the 20, kept out of the end zone all 4 times. Cardinals ran 47 plays, the Redskins only 16. Redskins lead by 5. We take a look at some fun from Week 14. Sounds from the field brought to you by Walmart.com, offering free 2-day shipping.
We're leaving everything out on that field today. Keep doing it. We keep moving. We keep moving. We keep moving. That's how big-time teams play in this environment. Give me that real quick. There it is. We're just having fun and we working, baby. That's it, baby.
Redskins with a 14-9 lead over the Cardinals, who need a win to stay alive. To Los Angeles, the Visa halftime report is next. Gabbert sack, ball comes loose. Cousins, end zone, touchdown. Jamison, Crowder, side the 10 to the end zone, touchdown. It's picked off. What a first half for Preston Smith. Back at FedEx Field, the first half numbers. Redskins with a 14-9 lead. Cardinals outgaining the Redskins 202-77. Check out that time of possession. Lowest in the entire league this season in the first half. Redskins had the ball for only 6 minutes, 34 seconds.
I don't know that I've ever seen that. 6 minutes, 34 seconds with 14 points. Obviously, your defense is doing the work for the Redskins today, but yeah, it's been interesting. Haven't even had a chance, really, Kenny, to build on the Washington offense because they haven't been out there long enough to talk about what's going on with them.
Right, 2 Arizona turnovers. Cardinals offensively, 4 trips into the red zone, no touchdowns. Short kickoff by Dawson, and the Cardinals have recovered. Buda Baker is having a tremendous rookie season on special teams and on defense for the Cardinals. Baker comes up with it.
Well, I don't know if he meant for this thing to spin back like a sand wedge, but a little fortunate on the bounce. You'll see Buda Baker, he's 36, but watch the ball spin back away from the returners and right into the arms, waiting arms of the NFL's leading special team voter for the Pro Bowl, Buda Baker. That is very fortuitous for the Arizona Cardinals as they start the second half.
So it would figure that the Redskins will have the ball for only 6.5 minutes, getting set to receive the opening kickoff, and now it's Cardinals football.
We've talked about these Cardinals special teams follies, some of the bad plays. That was a great play by them.
From the 22, it's Kerwin Williams up the middle. All right, so now the Cardinals are in the red zone once again for the 5th time. They did not score a touchdown last week, although they won the game. They do not have a touchdown today in 4 prior trips inside the 20.
Well, the execution down here has not been good. Blaine Gabbert has missed on a number of occasions. We saw Foster miscommunication at the end of the half on 2 plays. So yeah, let's see if they can find a way to get in the end zone here. They've clearly been the better offense all day today, just no points to show for it.
Second down and 4. Again, it's Williams, and it's Preston Smith, who's been tremendous today. He makes the tackles. The Cardinals ran 47 plays, Rondé, in the first half. That ties the league high this season. Dallas, week 1 against the Giants, ran 47 plays in the first half.
Yeah, it's amazing that they haven't been able to score. And, you know, usually when you get down into the red zone is when you have to execute your best, and they just haven't done it. They haven't been able to run the right routes. They haven't been able to, Blaine Gabbert hasn't been able to find the open receivers. And to be honest with you, the Redskins' pressure has gotten to him. Done a great job up front harassing Blaine Gabbert all day.
DJ Foster in for Kerwin Williams. 3rd down and 4. Gabbert throws, and the Cardinals cannot convert off the hands of Troy Nicholas. So for the 4th time, they will send out the field goal unit.
Well, Troy Nicholas is who he's looking for. He had Larry Fitzgerald on the other side, but he decides to come to this side of the football field and delivers a poor ball. It's low, it's away. Troy Nicholas is not necessarily your receiving tight end, and again, they trot out Phil Dawson for another field goal opportunity.
34-yard attempt from the left hash. Dawson is now 4 for 4. He hit 4 last week after the Cardinals recovered the second half kickoff. Buda Baker falls on it. Leads to 3 Arizona points.
This game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency.
There's Buda Baker, who recovered the second half kickoff by Phil Dawson. Led to a Cardinals field goal, their 4th of the game. And now Dawson kicks it deep. Breland on the return for Washington. And he'll be stopped at the 15-yard line. Cardinals say they have it. Breland was ruled down. Wacky start to the second half. You think back to the opening kickoff and the turnover early, which led to points, and now in the second half, Redskins thought they would get the ball first, and Cardinals score 3.
I got to tell you, first of all, I'm shocked that Bruce Arians, that offense, didn't take a shot after recovering that first onside kick. But look, the Redskins have no business being in this game right now. They haven't done anything on offense. Their defense has kept them in a football game, and really, Arizona's been a better team, but scoreboard is the ultimate deciding factor, and they're winning right now.
Now Cousins fires downfield. He was looking for Vernon Davis. Cousins took a hit as we head to Los Angeles for a game break. Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kenny. We head to Carolina. First drive of the second half. Cam Newton finds a wide open Greg Olsen for a 30-yard score. His first touchdown of the year due to injury. Panthers lead this one 17-14. Kenny?
All right, thanks very much, Carissa. What a battle in the NFC South between the Saints, Panthers, and Falcons.
Falcons play Monday night, of course.
In Tampa. Second down and 10. P-Ryan, not much. Down to the field, Christina.
Hey guys, well, you know, Rondé said he was surprised that the Cardinals didn't take a shot there. I am as well. Speaking of Bruce Arians, at the half, he said no more field goals. We're controlling the clock, but we have to get touchdowns. I also asked him about the protection issues with Blaine Gabbert, sacked 3 times so far in this game. He said, we're doing everything we can. We're chipping. We've got the tight end in there, but he said Blaine has to get the ball out quicker, and simply the O-line has to block better.
Thanks, Christina. Cardinals controlling the clock is an understatement.
I'll say.
They've scored 24 points the last 2 weeks, all on field goals. 4 last week, 4 today. As Cousins fires, and Crowder lost the football. Question, was he ruled down? He's short of the first down.
Ruling on the field, he's down by contact. 4th down.
Well, this is another close one, Kenny. Jamison Crowder in the slot. You see the out movement in, and good route, but really good tackle there by Tyrann Mathieu. And I think the right forearm hit the ground here that caused this ball to squeeze out of his hands. Yeah, it's the right call on the field.
Press way, punting it to Britton Golden, takes it out to 22, and is tackled at the 30-yard line. Guess what? Cardinals get the ball back. They trail by just 2. Christina talked about time of possession. You see what the Cardinals have done over the last 2 games. 8 field goals, no touchdowns. They've had the ball for 25 minutes today. The Redskins for 8 minutes. As Gabbert fires downfield looking for Ricky Seals-Jones with DeShazer Everett defending.
Blaine Gabbert gets knocked down once again on this play action pass. Just good inside rush move there, working on Nicholas, and then throw a 50-50 ball up. Ricky Seals-Jones has had a great coming out party here, and really good job by DeShazer Everett elevating above a much taller man to get that pass defense.
That's 5 straight incompletions for Blaine Gabbert as the Cardinals empty the backfield on 2nd and 10. Arizona needing a win to stay alive for the postseason. Here's Ricky Seals-Jones. Bounces off the first tackle attempt, and that is down at the 38, setting up 3rd down and 3.
He does a good job holding onto this ball. He took a shot here.
Martrell Spate. And then Seals-Jones eventually goes down. Talked about his transition from wide receiver. Did some work during the offseason with our colleague, Tony Gonzalez, to learn the tight end position.
That's the one you want to go to. Trying to figure it out. 3rd short here, Arizona. Empty backfield again, Kenny. And this is usually where you get some sort of motion, little short pass. See if Blaine Gabbert can convert here.
13th attempt on 3rd down. Cardinals are 4 for 12. It's DJ Foster, and he will not get there. Great job by Kendall Fuller.
Well, you talk about the interceptions, and they jump out at you. 4 interceptions for a slot guy, but it's these things. Kendall Fuller right here, making tackles on crucial situations, situational football, 3rd down. He has to go over the pick, the natural pick, to make that tackle. Another job well done by the young corner.
One of 4 Fuller brothers play in the National Football League. 2 times the Barbers. This takes a Cardinals bounce.
They went to the wrong school in Virginia, too.
That's right, Virginia Tech. The Antiki, proud graduates of UVA.
Today's game is sponsored by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network.
Redskins get the ball back against Chandler Jones and this Cardinals defense. Jones with a sack earlier, now has a league-leading 15 on the season. This will be the 20th play for the Redskins offense. Cardinals with 53. Starting from the 6, this is Pirine. Cuts to the outside, Peterson chasing. And Patrick Peterson brings him down at the 10 after a gain of 4.
Well, one thing you don't want to do in this backed up situation, your offense hasn't done anything all day. You don't want to drop back, put your quarterback in harm's way, turn around, give the ball to Pirine, let him pick up some yards, give you a little bit of space, and then see if you can get into your offensive rhythm, which, based on their time possession, 3rd down completion, 3rd down percentage, and everything else, they have not been able to do it all today.
2nd down and 6. Crowder in motion. Off the fake to Pirine. Cousins rolling right. And now he throws. Jamison Crowder makes the catch for a Redskins 1st down. Gain of 14.
See Chandler Jones working on Morgan Moses on the other side. Tries to go inside, but he compromises the edge of the defense and gives Kirk Cousins an avenue to escape, and then finds his receiver, Jamison Crowder, on the sidelines. Well done by the Redskins.
Hey, we're good, we're good. Ready? What's up?
From the 24, it's Pirine. Gain of 4, out to the 28. Christina.
Hey, Kenny, Cardinals linebacker Carlos Dansby sidelined right now with a calf injury. He is questionable to return. He is in the bench area. No helmet right now.
All right, thanks, Christina. Dansby in his 14th season. He leads all active players in the NFL in career tackles. Josh Bynes replacing Dansby on the field. 2nd down and 6. Redskins lead 14-12. Arizona with 4 field goals. Cousins to a wide open Niles Paul, tight end, his first catch today. And he picks up another Washington first down.
I'm always curious how guys get this wide open, and you're going to see Buda Baker work in on Vernon Davis there, leaves Niles Paul wide open into the sideline, and don't get much easier than that.
Gain of 11 for Paul. So the Redskins move the chains once again. Just over 8 minutes remaining, third quarter. Here at FedEx Field, 1st and 10, 39-yard line, and this play is bone dead. It's a false start.
False start. Number 85 offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Vernon Davis.
Vernon Davis, we came into this game wanting to talk about him. Obviously, Jordan Reed goes to IR this week. His role has grown exponentially with the absence of their star tight end, and he hasn't had the production that we expect. He had the one completion that turned into a takeaway for the Cardinals, and false start there sets them back 5 more yards.
543 career receptions. That's in the top 10 all time among tight ends. Cousins looking, set up the screen to Bibbs. Olsen Pierre got a piece of it, and a penalty marker was thrown.
It's going to be a hold.
Defense, number 72, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's on Pierre.
Yeah, you wonder why Olsen Pierre was so close to the running back. Right there, watch him as he reads out this play. He sees that it's a screen and just grabs Bibbs. Yeah, that's a foul.
Think?
Yeah. Pretty sure anyways.
So this gives the Redskins an automatic first down at their 39. Cousins handing it off to Pirine. Bit of a push. Pirine makes something out of nothing. And he gains 3.5. Out to the 43-yard line.
This is the most that we've seen Washington possess the football on a drive, and that's saying much. It's 5 plays into it, and it feels like they got a rhythm going. Shows you how bad they've been on offense today.
Cousins with loads of time. Wide open is Pirine into Cardinals territory. And he is finally dragged out of bounds by Josh Bynes at the Arizona 34. So Pirine gains 23 on the play.
Well, he was looking for Josh Doxson down the field. And look, you got Chandler Jones. You're going to put bodies on him. 3 guys dedicated to Chandler Jones. But then you see Pirine just sneak out of the backfield. He got his chip in. Make yourself available for the check. There was only one guy in a route. It was number 18. So Pirine is the outlet. Nobody takes him, picks up big yards.
By the way, that was the 6th play of this drive for the Redskins. Their longest drive today as far as number of plays.
Absolutely.
This is play number 7. Cousins, wide open, Jamison Crowder. And Crowder is forced out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Another 23-yard pass play for the Redskins.
Well, you get Jones and one-on-one working on Vernon Davis, and tough work, does his job. Then you got a deep crossing route. You see the double crossers behind that zone defense. Nobody on the other side. Danny Buchanan maybe a little late rally into that deep over, but plenty of space, and they got a drive going here now. Kenny inside the 10-yard line. Great drive here by Washington.
Well, Sean Daniels in the backfield, number 46. This is Daniels. It's his 3rd carry of the season. Spent some time on the practice squads of both the Chargers and the Redskins this year. So it is now 2nd and goal for the Redskins from the Arizona 8-yard line.
At least they can take ownership of this drive. They started this drive on the 4-yard line and have had some big plays in the passing game down inside the red zone here. You got this opportunity now. You know the Cardinals like to pressure when they get down here. He's only got to find one guy, see if that guy is Jamison Crowder here.
Play fake. Cousins swings it out to Doxson. Doxson down to the 5 and then forced out of bounds. 3rd and goal upcoming.
Long play action here. Same that we saw earlier, dive, reverse, keeping that Arizona defense off balance. They really haven't gotten much pressure on Kirk Cousins today.
More yards on this drive for the Redskins than their first 6 combined. Redskins offense has been on the field for longer in the third quarter than in the entire first half. 3rd and goal from the 6. Bunch formation to the right. Cousins looking left. He throws. Intended for Vernon Davis, and a great play is made by Tramon Williams.
If he would have came down with that one-handed, that would have been an awesome interception. There's Vernon Davis, 85, and Tramon Williams, not normally covering tight ends, but the structure of the defense has him over there. And man, that was almost a spectacular interception. And really, if you're Kirk Cousins, why do you throw that football? It's clear coverage. You didn't elevate it enough to get it to Vernon Davis. He's lucky there wasn't a takeaway by Arizona there.
So here's Dustin Hopkins from the left hash. 24-yard attempt. Hopkins' kick is good. An 11-play drive, but the Redskins are held to 3. Kirk Cousins with his backup Colt McCoy and quarterback coach Kevin O'Connell checking out the best drive of the day. 11 plays, 88 yards. More yards than their first 6 drives combined, and culminated with a Hopkins field goal. So the Redskins lead by 5 as Blaine Gabbert gets set to return to the field with the Cardinals offense. They will start from the 25-yard line. Well, Rondé, it's bowl season next Wednesday, the Foster Farms Bowl, Arizona and Purdue on Fox. And then next Thursday, the Holiday Bowl, Washington and Michigan State on FS1. Washington State and Michigan State, both ranked in the top 20.
One of our quarterbacks today will be watching that Michigan State game.
With his 2.5-month-old son on his lap, I'm sure.
Yeah, that was a great story he told us the other day. Watching video.
Kirk and his son Cooper, they watch film together. Here's Kerwin Williams, gain of a yard. Kendall Fuller the tackle.
And off to Williams, taken down by Fuller.
Blaine Gabbert today, 12 of 26, 149 yards and a pick. Kerwin Williams, 61 yards on the ground for Arizona. And Larry Fitzgerald leading the way with 4 receptions, now has 91 on the season. Under 4 to play, third quarter. The Cardinals have not been able to reach the end zone. They've been in the red zone inside the 25 times today. Gabbert on 2nd and 9. Fires downfield. Ricky Steals Jones, the intended receiver.
More pressure on Blaine Gabbert, but a good blitz pickup there by Kerwin Williams. Just enough time to get this ball down the field, but good coverage by Bashad Breeland. Again, Ricky Seals-Jones trying to be the big man down the field, win a 50-50 ball, just cannot get it. Good pass breakup by the Redskins and set this Cardinals offense into a 3rd and long, and Kenny, all day long they've struggled protecting. These Redskins defenders are going to pin their ears back, see if they can get after Blaine Gabbert right here.
4 for 13 on 3rd down. Cardinals must get to the 35, and that pass gets batted back. So the Cardinals will punt it away. They go 3 and out.
Well, the Cardinals, look, they leave 6 guys in here. Good pickup by Foster originally, but sliding across the formation there.
That was Anthony Lanier again,
making his presence felt in this game from the very first series. 2 pass breakups, 2 sacks. He's having a fantastic day.
What a kick. Davison Crowder up the sideline. That was a 62-yard punt, season long for Andy Lee. As we head to Los Angeles for a game break and say hello once again to Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. We head to Carolina. Panthers up 17-14 in the 3rd when Cam Newton finds Demir Bird in the back of the end zone. Touchdown was called incomplete. Panthers challenge, call reverse. Panthers lead this one 24-14. Kenny, Rondé, and Christina.
All right, thanks very much. Carissa, the wild card race with New Orleans in first place for the moment, thanks to a tiebreaker. It's Carolina and Atlanta. Falcons in action tomorrow night in Tampa, as your former coach, John Gruden, will be inducted into the Buccaneers Ring of Honor. Brother of the Redskins head coach. And Samaje Perine picks up a first down and more. Jay Gruden will be very happy about that play.
He's still going. How many tackles did he break in that run? They had 19 yards or something coming into this snap. This is good patient running, finding the gap in the stiff arm, picking up the extra yards after contact. And I say all that as it's coming back because there was a flag on the field.
Late flag came out, so that will erase a 23-yard pickup by Perine.
That was a very late flag, Kenny. I mean, both teams had moved down the field before that flag came out. Did he even announce what it was? I'm assuming holding. It's 10 yards back.
Morgan Moses, the guilty Redskin. First down and 20 from the 11. As Ryan Grant makes the catch and then spun away from a couple of Cardinal defenders out to the 26-yard line.
And just a simple deep slant here, and this ball's got to be delivered on time, and he makes two guys miss. Great catch, concentration. Ryan Grant's a guy, if you ask Jay Gruden about, does all the dirty work. Doesn't get much heralded attention, but he's been the guy that stepped up for him in the absence of a lot of guys they were expecting to have big years this year.
Career high 39 receptions for Grant. And now it is Bibbs, who is close to a first down.
I wondered about guys like Bibbs. I mean, he's been in this game. We've seen him with the long touchdown reception. We've seen him, playing the passing game. You see that run there, and just this game, especially a game when you're out of it, playoff contention. What are you playing for? You're playing for guys like Bibbs. Harry Bibbs gets an opportunity to come out and put something on film and really showcase what he can be, and I've been impressed with him today.
Put up some huge numbers at Colorado State. The end around to Doxson, and it does not fool the Arizona Cardinals. Kareem Martin brings down Josh Doxson back at the 17-yard line.
Well, we saw this play, and they threw a pass off. Here's Kareem Martin right here in your screen. Just stay at home. All you got to do is do your job. The structure of the defense, he does. Play has nowhere to go. Doxson has zero opportunity to get out of the grasp. Big loss.
14 on the play.
Huge loss.
That puts the Redskins back at 11 yards rushing for the game. We had that penalty earlier in the drive. Now minus 14 on the end around. So it's a second down and 24. This is Bibbs. We mentioned his collegiate career, along with Barry Sanders and Monte Ball. Those three, along with Bibbs, 30 rushing touchdowns in one season at the Division I level.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And it just, nobody wanted him. I think I read somewhere, too, that he had about a 500-yard rushing day or something in high school, too. So kids obviously got talent. Jay Gruden and this offense get an extended look at him here over the next 3 weeks of the season. Redskins 1 of 5 on third down today, have not been very productive. The only drive that we've seen sustained is the last one that resulted in that field goal. Not much you can do here on third forever.
This is Bibbs. Byron Matthew brings him down. So the Redskins will punt it away. They hear some boos from the crowd as the third quarter comes to an end, with the Redskins leading the Cardinals by 5. Fourth quarter from FedEx Field coming up. Each team with a field goal in the third quarter. Redskins control the ball for nearly 11 minutes. Cardinals without a first down in the quarter, although they did score on the Dawson field goal. Wade punting from inside his 10. Golden takes it at the 26. Good field position following the return by Britton Golden, as Gabbert leads the Arizona offense back onto the field. 51 different quarterbacks have started this season in the NFL. Case Keenum's done a great job in Minnesota. Of course, it's been Brett Hundley for the injured Aaron Rodgers. 3 with the Cardinals. TJ Yates becoming the third for the Texans. Josh McCown suffered the broken hand last week. Nick Foles starting for the Eagles today. For the injured Carson Wentz, they lead the Giants 31-23. There's Carson Palmer. You can only watch as Wayne Gabbert starts for the 5th time this season. Gabbert's thrown for 149 yards today. Cardinals with 4 field goals. And that has been it. On first down, it's Elijah Penny spinning out to the 44. So we were having an interesting conversation with Joe Theismann prior to the game. Rondé talking about all of these quarterback injuries. Of the 32 teams, only 17 have started only one quarterback this season. 17 of 32.
There's been a rash of injuries across the entire league, and the funny narrative coming in this game was which one of these coaches was going to win the injury battle bug deal.
Like both these teams with numerous key players on IR as Penny keeps on going to the Redskins 41.
How about that run right there?
14 yards, longest run of the day on either side.
Just nice. You're going to see the tight end come pull, clear out Ryan Kerrigan, and then just some nice nifty moves from the big man, breaking through, running through arm tackles, and getting to the second level. And give Arizona credit. This offense is not as open as we used to seeing. They have been very balanced on the ground today. 27 rushes, 31 passes, about as ideal as you can get for Bruce Arians' offense.
First and 10 from the 41. Gabbert looking for J.J. Nelson. Incomplete with Breeland defending.
Great defense there by Rashad Breeland, and he's now hurt on the sideline. I think he landed on his shoulder when he came down, but coverage was perfect. He's in such good position. He's on top of the receiver. He can afford to look into the backfield, try to make a play on this. The ball just sails out of bounds, and you see that left arm hit the ground, and just a jarring hit right there. You see if he's okay.
He'll be replaced by Quentin Dunbar. Breeland had an interception, returned at 96 yards for a touchdown late in last week's loss to the LA Chargers. First career score.
Quentin Dunbar played a lot of snaps in that Chargers game. Actually, Jay Gruden told us Rashad Breeland was sat down for a coach's decision. Couldn't weasel out of him what that coach's decision was, but I got a capable backup, and Kendall Fuller, of course, is just an inside corner for this Redskins defense.
On second and 10, it's Penny. Greg the pile down to the 36-yard line. What's going on with the Eagles and the Giants, Carissa?
Well, Nick Foles is having himself a day, Kenny. How about this one? Connects with Nelson Aguilar as he jumps over the Giants' corner to haul in this 10-yard touchdown. Foles has 4 touchdowns on the day. Philly leads 31-23. Kenny?
Oh, the year of replacement quarterbacks, you want a veteran. Nick Foles is a guy. He's been there. Had most of his success in Philly. A guy like Carson Wentz goes down. It's nice to have a backup like him come in and lead that comeback up there in New York.
Average pass is broken up. He was looking for DJ Foster. Zach Vigil defending.
Zach Vigil, Ryan Kerrigan as well. You're 3-4 linebacker in this defense. You got to drop into coverage from time to time. So we had a game where Ryan Kerrigan dropped into coverage and had an interception for a touchdown, which he's done 3 times in his career. 3 interceptions, 3 touchdowns. So good job by Ryan Kerrigan getting them off on third down there.
So now it is a 54-yard attempt. Dawson 4 for 4 today. And he makes it 5 for 5. Dawson connects from 54 yards out. But there's a flag. So late flag. And we will check with Pete Morelli.
All the Cardinals special teams guys, field goal unit went to the sideline. I think
their offense is coming back out.
put them in a 4th and 1, right?
Unsportsmanlike conduct, leverage, number 64. Defense, 15-yard penalty automatic, first down.
So leverage is the call on A.J. Francis.
See more and more of this call now in the NFL.
You cannot push off a teammate or an opponent.
Yep, pushing off Winston Painter there. And left hand on the back, you can't do it. It's a safety issue.
Yep, clear-cut call. So an automatic first down with Breland heading off to the Redskins locker room. So another chance for the Cardinals. Dunbar in for Breland. First and 10 from the 21 as Penny spins and takes it down to the 14-yard line. So the Cardinals again are in the red zone, Rondé, for the 6th time today.
Yes, they are, largely because of Elijah Penny. Watch this spin move. Who is Elijah Painter, you ask? Well, or Penny, I'm sorry, who is he? You don't know, but he is a straight-ahead, downhill, one-cut runner. And on this drive, Penny is putting in some good work.
He has 44 yards on the ground. He's been a terrific player on special teams for the Cardinals this season. Their second-leading tackler behind Buda Baker. Penny gains a yard down to the 13. Stacey McGee, the tackle. Penny, undrafted out of Idaho. He's done some time on the practice squad, and this is the most extensive action that he has seen on offense for the Cardinals.
Yeah, 3rd and short, Kenny. I'm sitting here trying to think to myself, when was the last time Larry Fitzgerald had a pass not only thrown his way, but a completion? Blaine Gabbert struggled completing balls down here in the red zone. Find number 11. You can count on him. See what we got going. Nothing in this half so far for Larry Fitzgerald.
Slot to the right. We're down in 2. And that pass sails away from the intended receiver, DJ Foster.
Oh, we had DJ Foster, and this is a tough play on the play action because Ryan Kerrigan does such a great job putting pressure on him immediately, but just a little bit of touch. Just a little bit of touch. Give some air under that ball so Foster can run under it, and it's a first down, maybe more. They're going to settle for yet another field goal opportunity here, Kenny.
This will be a 32-yard attempt.
Got to be frustrating for Bruce Arians. Offense gets down here, it moves the field so many times, no touchdowns.
From the left hash, Dawson is 5 for 5. So that's 10 field goals for Bruce Arians' Cardinals since their last touchdown.
Today's game is sponsored by K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K. And by Burger King. Try the 2 for $6 Whopper sandwich deal today only at Burger King.
So you come to a game and you dress up as a former Michigan State quarterback.
I love that.
Bruce Stanton, Kirk Cousins.
I guarantee you those two guys are from Michigan. They have to be.
Have to be. There's Kirk. His Redskins lead by 2. Cardinals won a game last week without a touchdown. 12-7 over Tennessee. They have not reached the end zone today. This is Maurice Harris on the return for the Redskins. Just over 11 minutes remaining. 33-yard return. Some injuries on both sides. We check with Christina.
Yes, several injuries on those last few drives. Cardinals defensive lineman Robert Condici has been ruled out with a wrist injury. Linebacker for the Redskins, Ryan Anderson, is questionable to return with a knee injury. And we saw Bashaud Breeland come off. He is questionable to return. He's in the locker room dealing with a shoulder injury, Kenny.
Next, Christina, still no Carlos Dansby on this Cardinals defense. Injured earlier today. Redskins start from their 35. Leading by 2 on the toss. It's Pirine with Nseki leading the way. And Pirine is out to the 41 for a gain of 6. And both of these teams, Rondé, decimated by injuries this season.
And it's been tough, and you don't want to compare injuries, but San Fran obviously has the most, but just look at the number of guys total. 560 guys on injured reserve and 64 on injured reserve in a season is a lot. And a lot of them have been stars, and that's been the most difficult part about the NFL, one of the difficult parts about the NFL this year.
Second down and 4. Here's Pirine. Rodney, you played 16 seasons in the NFL. You were never on injured reserve.
Yeah, that's a lot of luck too. You know, obviously you take care of yourself, but some of these injuries this year have been just, you know, crazy. And then some of the concussion deals, guys out of games, and Tom Savage is probably going on IR for concussion in Houston. And Carson Palmer, of course, is on injured reserve this year. Can come back week 17. Don't know that he will, but there's no excuse because the entire league is dealing with these same type of injuries. And in a game like this where you got so many backup players, it's a pretty level playing ground.
3rd down and 4. Redskins must get to the 45. And they will not. And the Redskins will send out the punting unit.
Well, they continue to struggle on 3rd down. And this Cardinals defense doing a good job dropping into coverage, giving him no options. And you see he tries to pull that thing back down because coverage was there. If that ball would have came out of his hands, it may have been an interception. 1 of 7 on 3rd down is not going to get it done. Cardinals got a chance here to take the lead on another field goal, Kenny, if they get down here.
Way's punt is fielded at the 12 by Golden. 5-yard return out to the 17. 9:22 remaining. Redskins by 2.
That's Santa, Kenny. I love Santa Claus that have real beards. That dude definitely has a real beard. You know what I want for Christmas? Larry Fitzgerald in the 4th quarter. Where's he been? You need to win a game. You're trying to stay in the playoffs. Go to this man right here. 3rd all-time in receptions, receiving yards. Already talked about his consecutive game streak. The guy is clutch when it matters, and Blaine Gabbert has to do a better job getting him the football. Even if it's some sort of design play, got to get him involved. Let's see if Arizona can go down here and try to win this football game.
His last reception was late in the 2nd quarter as Penny is tackled by Swearinger.
Great play by DJ Swearinger. Haven't mentioned his name all day, but we talked to him this week, and he said it's not only about pride, it's about proving something. Plays like that set a tone. This guy's been doing this all year long. His 3 interceptions on the year. He came in immediately, was a captain, a vocal leader. Great play there.
Loss of 4 on the play. 2nd down and 14 for the Arizona Cardinals, who must win to keep their slim playoff hopes alive. Eliminated with a loss. Cardinals haven't scored a touchdown in 9 full quarters. Gabbert can't find anyone. And he steps out of bounds back at the 7-yard line.
And I don't understand why Blaine Gabbert just doesn't throw that away. Just giving away a sack there.
Throw it out of bounds.
It's out of the pocket. All he has to do is get rid of this football. And now you're sitting back here. Bruce Arians is going, we got 3rd and 18. This is a mistake. Veteran quarterbacks should know better than this. The coverage is good. Nowhere for the ball to go. You see the guys trapping the tight end. Larry Fitzgerald was covered up on top too. 3rd and 19. Empty backfield.
Preston Smith credited with the sack. That pass is deflected. It was intended for Fitzgerald. Martrell Spate getting a hand on it.
Well, they're trying to get a quick screen out to Larry Fitzgerald. Junior Gillette also had a sack early in the game. I think this is the 3rd or maybe 4th pass deflected by a defensive lineman today by the Washington Redskins. And well done. Get them in a backed up situation. And when you're putting from your end zone, you got a dangerous return man, Jamison Crowder down here. You got to expect to be in scoring position after this play.
Lee punting from his end zone. Taken at the 47 by Crowder. Jamison Crowder into Arizona territory. Tackled at the 44. Redskins winning seasons the last 2 years under Jay Gruden. You look at the most games coached under owner Daniel Snyder, 64 for both Joe Gibbs and Mike Shanahan. Jay Gruden now at 62 with 2 games remaining.
You get a feeling that his team's still playing for him. I know they had 2 terrible performances back-to-back weeks here, but the defense came out fighting hard. I think they were challenged both in and outside of the meeting rooms. They've responded today.
From the 44 on 1st down, it's Pirine. He's tackled from behind by Corey Peters after a gain of 4.
Oh, and look at Perine. He knows he's one tackle away from springing that thing. Who knows who would have stopped him if he would have broken that tackle of Corey Peters. This run game's trying to get alive. They haven't really had much success today. They've taken some lost yardage plays, but Perine has run hard today.
Josh Bynes shaken up, Cardinals linebacker who's in for the injured Carlos Dansby. So Bynes helped off the field.
Dansby on the sideline, Josh Bynes going. I think the only other active linebacker is Scooby Wright, who I believe just came onto the football field.
There's Dansby, and there's Scooby Wright, originally drafted by the Cleveland Browns, signed off the practice squad.
He's primarily a special teams guy here. Doesn't have, I don't think, any snaps on defense this year.
Second down and 6. As we approach 7 minutes remaining. Off the fake to Perine. Cousins finds Vernon Davis for a Redskins first down inside the 30.
This is well done here. I don't know how he found Vernon Davis here. Rolling out to his right, under pressure immediately by Chandler Jones. Look at Vernon Davis sneak out there, and that's a dangerous throw, but obviously the quarterback and his tight end have a connection and understanding that this is where this ball is going to go if he's under pressure. Delivered well, first down, Washington.
From the Cardinals 29, it's Perine. Savaje Perine down to the 25-yard line. Made of 4. Scooby Wright made the tackle.
Well, this all of a sudden becomes a crucial stop here for Arizona. Touchdown on this drive, and with only 6 minutes left in the game, you wonder if they'll have an opportunity to get back in it. Conversely, Washington knows that the jugular's there waiting to be sliced if they can get down here and score a touchdown.
Redskins started the season 4-4. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. This is Perine again, and when we talked to Jay Gruden on Friday, and you asked him what this game means for his team, he said, well, guys have a lot of pride, and we want to finish strong.
That's all you can do. People might be asking, well, what is Washington playing for? Well, first they're playing for their coach. Second, they're playing for paychecks. You sign up for 16 at the beginning of the year. You don't try to lose football games. They just haven't been playing well. But this offense has got going a little bit here in the second half. They can score here, Kenny. Could be tough the way that this Cardinals offense hasn't been able to produce all day long.
The Redskins barely had the ball the first half, under 7 minutes. First and 10 from the 19 of Arizona as Cousins fires downfield out of the reach of Crowder with Peterson defending.
I always wondered who Patrick Peterson chooses in crucial situations. Well, he's going to take their #1 receiver, Jamison Crowder. Good route. Patrick Peterson's so patient at the line of scrimmage, the bump corner. I don't think anybody does it better, to be honest with you. And this ball is well delivered, but the coverage is too good. Incomplete pass.
Peterson, the 6-time Pro Bowler, making his 110th consecutive start today. Now 2nd and 10 from the 19-yard line. 3 receivers to the left. Crowder comes in motion. Cousins hands it off to Perine. Stays on his feet. And is then down at the 13-yard line. In the first half, for the Redskins, lowest time of possession in the entire league in the first half this season, but tides have turned a bit since halftime.
They're clicking it down here. 15 minutes in the second half is more on par to what you want from an offensive perspective.
But now facing a 3rd down and 5. Redskins have converted only once on 3rd down today. As Cousins throws, he was about to get hit. He was hit after he released it. Pass was intended for Josh Doxson.
About to get hit, Kenny. He got hit. He got hit hard by Chandler Jones. And he's working on Davis again. That jump move, I've seen that 1,000 times from Chandler Jones this year. Nobody's been able to stop it. Look at that hit right in the back. It's a clean hit. He took a shot there.
So now the Redskins will send out the field goal unit with Cousins on the bench. This will be a 32-yard attempt for Hopkins. Hit from 24 earlier. Redskins kick is good, just inside the left upright, just off injured reserve yesterday. So the Redskins now lead by 5. Kirk Cousins shaken up after that big hit from Chandler Jones.
Clearly something in his back too, and it was a pretty vicious hit right in the center of his back. Definite discomfort down there. And sitting on the sideline, trainers have left him alone. Keep an eye on him.
Foster will take a knee, so the Cardinals go back to work from their 25, trailing by 5. Get ready for bowl season next Wednesday. Foster Farms Bowl, Arizona and Purdue. And then Thursday, the Holiday Bowl, Washington State and Kirk Cousins' alma mater, Michigan State, on FS1. All right, so the Arizona Cardinals trailing by 5. They have not scored a touchdown in 9 full quarters since the second quarter against the Rams 2 weeks ago. Larry Fitzgerald with the last Arizona touchdown. Since then, 10 field goals. 1 against the Rams, 4 last week, 5 today. Gabbert steps up, running for the sidelines, crosses the 35, and he picks up a Cardinals first down.
Just good coverage on the back end. Blaine Gabbert obviously can get out of the pocket and escape, but there's nowhere for him to throw this football. He's looking for Larry Fitzgerald to bend this route out. And look, Rashad Breeland back in the football game. Kendall Fuller got that taken care of, and all he can do is get out and pick up some positive yardage, though. Get first down, keep this drive going, and it's now or never for the Arizona Cardinals. 4.5 minutes left in this football game. They have to score a touchdown on this drive.
They must win to keep their very slim playoff hopes alive, eliminated with a loss. Cardinals have not won back-to-back games this season. As Gabbert throws, and there's Fitzgerald. His first catch since late in the second quarter. His 5th today, 24 yards, a Cardinals first down.
Well, Larry Fitzgerald working in the slide. I want you to watch this move. This is what vets do. Sticks him inside, got Kendall Fuller looking in the backfield. Eye discipline's bad on that play. Next thing you know, Larry Fitzgerald's gone, and Blaine Gabbert puts a strike right in his chest. Big gain there for Arizona.
He's now 18 yards shy of 1,000 for the season. From the 40 on first down, taking it inside the 35 to the 34-yard line is Elijah Penny, as we approach 3.5 remaining.
Well, now that you get on the plus side of the 50, or negative side of the 50, I guess, for Arizona, you can take your time a little bit here. Use this clock, let this bleed itself down, but got to convert first downs and don't make any mistakes about it. This is 4-down territory for Arizona.
Second down and 4 from the Redskins 34. Gabbert throws, it is deflected and then drops. J.J. Nelson, the intended receiver.
Oh, you'd love to see J.J. Nelson make a contested catch here, but the coverage is great. Rashad Breeland's right on top of him. Not only could have been a catch, it could have been an interception there. DeShazier Everett not playing the football. If he sees it a second earlier, that could have been a takeaway for Washington.
Instead, it's a 3rd down and 4 for Arizona. 3 receivers to the right side, including Larry Fitzgerald. Cardinals are 4 for 17 on 3rd down.
Larry Fitzgerald going in motion to check man-to-man right there.
Gabbert on 3rd down, looks to escape the pressure, stays on his feet, lost the football, and then falls on it all the way back at the 48-yard line.
Well, the pressure gets him again, Kenny. And it's just a 4-man rush. You'll see it right in the middle of your screen. Junior Gillette there, but also Ziggy Hood. And then it's his own offensive lineman that causes the fumble, and Ryan Kerrigan falls on it for the sack. Same routes, nothing there. Nowhere for him to get rid of this football, and they're going to punt it away on 4th and forever.
Loss of 18. Their catch called for by Crowder back at the 11. So now 2 minutes, 26 seconds remaining. Redskins with the football, Rondé leading by 5.
Well, now it comes down to Arizona, their defense. They've been winning games last week on defense. They're going to have to do it again. Get a stop here, 3 and out, get the ball back. But most importantly, they have their 3 timeouts still available to them. So setting up for a good finish here. And it comes back to what we've been saying all day. This Arizona Cardinals has driven the field time and time again, but have not been able to get in the end zone, and it looks to be their Achilles heel on the afternoon.
3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Kirk Cousins back on the field. Took that shot from Chandler Jones on that last series, and now the Redskins actually use a timeout. Their first while in the huddle. Jay Gruden's Redskins with a record of 5-8. As we mentioned earlier, perfect against the NFC West, 3-0. With wins over the Rams, the Seahawks, and the 49ers. Looking to sweep that division. Redskins will finish up. They host Denver next Sunday, and then at the Giants 2 weeks from today. Still have a chance to finish with a 500 record. First and 10 from the 12-yard line. It's Samaje Perine. Gain of 4 out to the 14, and now a timeout is taken by Arizona. Eagles lead the Giants by 2. Vikings 34-7 over the Bengals. Rams and Seattle later today. Saints with an 11-point lead on the Jets. Those are the 4 division leaders. Carolina Panthers 14-point lead over Green Bay. Atlanta plays tomorrow night. And then the teams in the hunt, including the Cardinals, but will only stay on that graphic with a victory today. They trail by 5, 2:21 remaining. From the 14 on second down. Cousins has it batted down by Kareem Martin.
Well, saved them a timeout. Running a pass play there. And I think Cousins is looking for one of his tight ends on a cross. There's Kareem Martin again, just staying at home, and pass deflection. Now the Redskins need to convert on third down here, and they've only done it once out of 8 tries today. This is a big one here.
They must get to the 22 for a first down. And they will keep it on the ground and now punt it away as Bibbs was stopped.
Conservative play call.
Cardinals call timeout. They're second with 2:10 remaining as Golden drops back deep. So the Cardinals will get the ball back. There's Carson Palmer chatting with Blaine Gabbert.
Just telling him, keep your cool. Play this like any other situation. Protect the football. Blaine Gabbert told us too that being in this situation, being with Bruce Arians, Carson Palmer, best experience of his career. He's been around 8 different head coaches in his career. He's got a chance here. There's a big football game for the Cardinals.
Golden on the return, so excellent field position. And his quarterback coach is your former teammate, Byron Leftwich, native of D.C. So Gabbert back on the field with the Cardinals offense.
This game is sponsored by Chevy. Chevys are J.D. Power Dependability Awards for cars, trucks, and SUVs.
The return man for the Cardinals, Britton Golden, remains down, and Card has come out onto the field.
Just watch as he goes to the ground here. Robertson lands on him, and it's hard to see actually what it is, but he goes immediately for his right arm, and they bring out that inflatable air cast. See that pink bag right there, and they already have that cast, or the makeshift cast on his forearm. So
Larry Fitzgerald come over and give a hug. There's Ryan Grant, some of the Redskins along their sideline. Jamison Crowder. Britton Golden in his 4th season out of West Texas A&M. So yet another injury suffered by these Arizona Cardinals. Bolden heading off to the locker room, saluting the crowd as they lend their support. His Cardinal teammates with a minute 59 remaining, one timeout, trailing by 5, have not reached the end zone in this game. Gabbert from the shotgun on first down. Steps up. Now he throws underneath. Nicholas, the intended receiver. Was it stripped away?
Oh, this is close, Kenny. Because there was dual possession here. To me, it looked like
Zach Vigil tried to take it away from Troy Nicholas, but it's ruled a completion. So the Cardinals maintain possession.
Oh, watch how bang this completion is. We'll see Vigil jump into your screen, and it was close.
Here's Gabbert. Gabbert slides and has a first down as we take another look at that previous play. There's Nicholas. Vigil tried to strip it away. Penalty flag here. And this play is blown dead.
If it's a false start, they're going to have 10-second runoff or use this timeout. I'd love to get back to that play because it was so close. Originally, I thought it was an interception by Zach Vigil.
Please set the game clock to 1:22.
Real quick, take a look at this. Zach Vigil comes in and, I mean, that's an interception.
I agree. It certainly looked like Vigil stripped it away. Pete Morelli over for a chat with Bruce Arians.
False start. Number 14 offense. By rule under 2 minutes. The game clock running 10 seconds will be taken off the clock. Please set the game clock to 1:12. Clock will start on my ready for play.
Well, they missed an opportunity there because under 2 minutes, those plays could have been reviewed. I guess they called it a completion and it didn't necessitate the review.
All right, 1st and 15. Pass is caught by Foster. And Foster is taken down by Josh Harvey Clemens.
He had out of bounds. Yeah, he had to fight to get out of bounds here. Tried to make that extra move to get a couple of more yards.
So the clock stops at 58 seconds. Line of scrimmage, the Redskins 40. Cardinals have not scored a touchdown in 9 full quarters plus. 5 field goals today for Arizona. They must win to stay alive. 2nd down and 9. Gabbert to Foster. Vigil the tackle. Cardinals have 1 timeout. Clock continues to run down to 45 seconds. 3rd down and 3. Gabbert steps up, throws through the hands of Fitzgerald. The flag comes in, now a second penalty marker is thrown.
And the flag is going to be a hold on Kendall Jenner. And Larry Fitzgerald just running a skinny post, or Kevin Fuller, I'm sorry, and Larry Fitzgerald gets dragged just enough.
Pass interference. Defense. Automatic. First down.
It was a close one, Kenny. I'm not sure that it was pass interference because Kendall Fuller was going down on the ground and the ball was high. Larry Fitzgerald wasn't able to reach up to get it anyways. If there's contact there, it's very minimal.
So it is now 1st and 10 from the Redskins 21. 37 seconds remaining. Gabbert fires. Nicholas could not hang on to it.
Good play by Zach Vigil, staying in the fight there. He's got a size disadvantage. And really just distracting him on his legs. Wasn't able to pull this down. Man, Nicholas had a chance. In his hands, had his helmet for an assist, still couldn't catch it.
32 seconds on the clock. Cardinals with 1 timeout. 2nd down and 10. from the Redskins 21. Fitzgerald, slot to the left. Play clock winding down. They get the snap off, and that pass gets batted down. Anthony Lanier again for the third time today.
You gotta like what he's putting on film here today. He knows he can't get to the quarterback here. He's got two guys blocking him. But just being ball aware, just knowing that this thing is gonna come out, stop, jump, swat it down. Great play by Anthony Lanier.
Discovered by Doug Williams out of Alabama A&M.
Really coming into his own now. That's 5 great plays by Lanier on the day. 2 sacks, 3 pass defense.
What a game for Lanier. 3rd down and 10. Gabbert throws, and this one is broken up by Kendall Fuller.
Kendall Fuller's day, up and down. Yes, he's had a pass interference, but he's working on Larry Fitzgerald. You got to be able to make these plays in crunch time. And they put together a nifty little route combination trying to get some room for Fitzgerald, but Fuller's all over this. Keep saying Jenner. I don't know why she's on my mind right now.
I'm thinking about the Kardashians.
Good play by Fuller again.
This will be the 80th play for this Cardinals offense. The Redskins defense has kept them out of the end zone. It comes down to this. 4th down and 10. Gabbert throws.
What a catch.
Fitzgerald.
Oh, incomplete.
Came out. Kendall Fuller defending it now. 3 flags. Swearinger took off his helmet. Let's see if that's why the flags were thrown.
Oh, boy.
It was an incomplete pass, but let's see if the Cardinals get an opportunity after Swearinger removed his helmet.
Well, if a dead ball foul, right? It doesn't matter.
Right, because it came after the incompletion.
I think that's what the Redskins know.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 36, taking his helmet off. 1st down, Washington. After the Super Bowl.
Kendall Fuller again, working on Larry Fitzgerald. And I thought he had caught this football. It was in his hands, but it's DJ Swearinger, the last second, coming in, knocking this thing out before he can re-grip it.
So close.
You got to give credit to this Washington defense. 3 times in a row they had to make big plays. Fuller with 2 of them. DJ Swearinger there. And they're going to squeak away with a victory here at home.
80 plays for the Cardinal offense. They did not score a touchdown, and they will be eliminated from playoff contention as the Redskins sweep the NFC West. Washington now 6-8. Cardinals drop to 6-8. Jay Gruden, Bruce Arians come together.
That was a much-needed win for Jay Gruden in this offense. It came alive in the second half, but it was the defense the entire day, Kenny. Anthony Lanier, 2 sacks, 3 pass defense. Kendall Fuller with some great plays at the end of this game. They're going to come away with the victory.
We will return to FedEx Field after these messages, plus bonus coverage of the Packers and the Panthers.